Good morning. This is Glenn Lundy at Dan Cummins Chevrolet in Buick in Paris, Kentucky. We're going to talk a little bit this morning about commitments and being committed. So tune in. Got some good stuff for you that we're going to go over. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Saturday morning. I know I am, and looking forward to this weekend. So let's get it going. Come on. Everybody, how's everybody feeling today? Good. I heard that one of our wonderful top leading salespeople, his girlfriend had a 21st birthday yesterday. How'd that go? Woo! Great? Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Okay, I'm guessing Adam is probably out there. He looks a little, well, Josue, okay. Mike, are you doing all right? All right, we're talking a little bit about commitments this morning, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that these guys committed to a great time last night. Is that true? Okay, good. Well, I'm glad you guys all made it here safely. I'm glad we're not having to bail anybody out this morning. Right? Can you hit that light for me, please? And that's awesome. So glad you guys had a good time. We are on Saturday, December 2nd, which we're still in the year of 2017 as far as the calendar goes, but as far as fiscally, our year-to-dates and that kind of stuff, we're in a new year. Does that all make sense to everybody? Right? We're basically in a new year. So whatever you sell this month, you're going to get paid on, next month. So for me, it's an awesome time of year. December 1st, I love it because I get to look back at the last 12 months and say, okay, what changes did we make? What did we put in place? What worked? What didn't work? And what can we do to get better now that we have this new year? There's just something about a fresh zero, right? When you see that number 0, to me, I don't see just a 0. I see an O for opportunity. Because now all my hopes, my dreams, my goals, whatever, I can put them out there, right? And I've got plenty of time to achieve them versus, if my goal is 30 cars and I'm sitting on the 30th of the month and I got 17 out, I'm probably not going to hit that goal. So I lose a little bit of hope. So I love the zeros. I love this time of year. And so this morning, I just want to talk a little bit about some of the commitments that I've made for the dealership going forward, some of the commitments that I want you guys to make going forward, and go over, kind of a couple people that have made some commitments that are really committed individuals and just really what that means. So I'm going to start off with a video about commitment to give you a better understanding of how it should be defined.
There's an old business fable about commitment. First time I heard it was years ago. I was watching a video of Dartmouth's rowing coach. He was telling a story to inspire his team. And basically in this story, there's a father, there's a son. They're sitting down at breakfast, and the son says, "Dad, I'm learning about commitment versus contribution in school. Right? I'm trying to grasp it, but I can't quite understand the difference." Father thinks about it for a minute. He says, "Look down at your plate. What do you see?" Boy says, "Ham and eggs." Father says, "Well, that chicken made a contribution to your breakfast. That pig made a commitment." He then goes on to tell his team to row like pigs. And that simple metaphor created a foundation for everything that's come through my life since then. Right? In anything we do, there's the option to go all in or to walk the line, to hedge your bets. And people so often leave or quit when something becomes difficult because there's another door they've left open, right? There's an easier way, an escape route. But let me ask you this. Do you think if it was a life or death situation, right? Say you needed water to survive, would you give up after looking for 3 hours and coming up empty-handed? Of course not. You'd keep looking because life depended on it, right? There's no other options available. There's this old saying that if you want to take the island, burn the ships, commit. And it's not until you do this that things truly begin to change, that progress is made at the highest level. You simply cannot tiptoe to success. You can't sneak up behind it. You have to own it, right? Go after what you want like the world is on fire, like your universe revolves around making this happen. I have never, in my 28 years of existence, seen a lion walk up to a gazelle and hope that it falls over, right? It attacks it with everything that it has. Speed, strength, tenacity. That's what brings home the prize. If you and your goals aren't one, if they are not the same, that's a pretty good indicator that you are fighting the wrong fight. You should live and breathe your dreams. Inhale and exhale them. They should live at the forefront of your mind, where every thought that comes through your head should be in the context of that dream. That basic question, how bad do you want it? Well, if you're not willing to fully commit to dive into something, then that gives you a pretty good answer right out of the gate. You can talk about hours spent, routines, habits, but if you aren't passionate about what you want, if you don't immerse yourself in it, none of that really matters. Live how you need to live. Do what you need to do. Be who you need to be to make your dreams real. Fully commit to excellence. Because in
We need to get more committed to better Wi-Fi. Come on. 20 seconds left. We had some Wi-Fi problems yesterday, didn't we? All right, you guys get the drift, right? So when I watched that video and I listened to him define commitment at that level, I have to look in the mirror and think to myself, like, is that me? Am I that committed to the things that I say I'm going to do, the things that I, hope I'm going to do? And so I start to look around a little bit. I look at myself and I have to be honest and say, probably not. Probably not on that level. Sometimes I allow things to get in the way, or I might think, hey, it's 4:50 in the morning and I don't really feel like going to the gym today, or I don't really feel like getting up and doing my gratitude list this morning. I don't really feel like it. And to be honest, I did it yesterday, and I did it the day before that, and so I could maybe give myself a pass and not get up today. Maybe I just need to sleep in a little bit. Or maybe I need to not go to the gym. Maybe my knee's hurting a little bit, and I don't need to go. The brain is going to try to keep you in this comfort zone, and it's going to try to convince you individually that these things are okay. And what I want to talk about this morning is it's not. It's just not okay. You see, we can end up in two places. You can end up achieving your goals and reaching success and reaching these higher levels. We can end up there, or we cannot. It's simple as that. There's only one of two areas that we can end up in. And if we're allowing ourselves to let these excuses in and to allow ourselves to be halfway committed, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, where we're more of a contributor like the chicken, right? Versus the pig where we're full in, all committed. When we allow ourselves to be halfway in and halfway out, the results are going to be halfway in and halfway out. Now, I look around at some people in my life, my wife, and hopefully she won't watch the meeting this morning. She doesn't always like when I talk about her, but this morning, as I'm leaving for the gym, my wife, she's passed out, asleep, in the bed, blankets off of her, she's sprawled out, and my son, my 8-month-old son, my wife, she breastfeeds, so my son is like attached, right? He's just attached, and she's asleep, and he's asleep, but he can't live without this woman, period. And she is so fully committed to my children. She's so fully committed to giving life to this little dude that, like, nothing stands in the way. My wife, we have 5 kids now, and my wife hasn't, like, slept through the night in 7 years. She just hasn't done it. She gets up in the middle of the night, she gets the baby, she feeds the baby, she changes, Joel came in the other morning, he had peed the bed, she's got to change the sheets, she's got to change his clothes, like, that's her life and has been her life for the last 7 years. She homeschools the kids full on. She made a post the other day where she was at Target at 11 o'clock, I think it was, in the morning, and she's got 5 kids in tow, and she's running around because her husband works like freaking crazy, so she's kind of a single mom in that sense, Monday through Friday. But she is so full-on committed to raising these kids. And I think, man, imagine if I was that way with my career. She's chosen this career of being a homemaker, this career of taking care of these children. Imagine if I was that committed to my career here at this dealership. Imagine what a difference it would be. This last 12 months, we're right on track. We're going to sell basically right at 10,000 cars again this year. Okay, we sold 10,000 cars last year. We've already done this. We've done this before. We haven't raised the bar. We've sold more new cars than ever. And we put in some better processes with our servicing of vehicles and Rapid Recon and so on and so forth, and our digital marketing team. We're getting quality leads. And so we've made progress as a dealership. But when you look at the numbers, we're in the same place we were 12 months ago. Whose fault is that? I got to take that on my shoulders, and I got to look, and I go, wait a minute, man. I committed. I made a commitment. I gave my word to Josh and Dusty Cummins that we were going to raise the bar in this place every single day that I'm here, every single month that I'm a part of this team. When I asked for a job, when I came in here and said, please give me a job, I promise you I will give you everything every single day if you'll just give me the opportunity. When I made that commitment, I now owe that to them. I owe it to them. Doesn't matter how tired I get. Doesn't matter, we sold 800 and something cars last month. None of that matters, man. None of that matters. And I'm asking you guys to take a look in the mirror real quick and go, wait a minute, when I sat across from Glenn, or when I sat across from these guys, and I begged them to give me an opportunity, I begged them to give me a job, I made a commitment to give it my all every single day I'm here. Every day. And I get it, guys. I get it. We work a lot of stinking hours. And sometimes there's lots of frustration that gets in the way. And there's life outside of Dan Cummins. I totally get that. There's life outside of this place. But when you're here, you gave me your word. And that's what I expect to get back. I gave you my word. And you should have that expectation from me to get back. Your team leaders, your management, everybody that's in these leadership positions, they asked me to be in these positions. I gave them the opportunity. They now owe me that full-on commitment every single day. We owe it to our customers to be committed at that level. They have choices, thousands of them. They work hard for their money. They work super hard for their money. I was talking to Aaron last night. Aaron's buying a new Tahoe, or a new Silverado. It's $55,000, and the guy makes great money. He's owned his own business for like 20 years. And he was standing next to me, and he said, Glenn, I'll be honest, like, my wife asked me if I was excited about my new truck, and I told her, like, yeah, I'm kind of excited about the truck, but I still got to pay for it. I still got to pay for these things. It's not like they just come in and it's like, sis boom ba, yay, I got my new car. 45 days from now, they're going to get a bill. It costs them to drive these cars, and they can choose where they buy them. So when they come here, we have a commitment that we've made, that we've put out there, that we're going to be the best in the nation, that they're going to get the best experience hands down, that we're going to eradicate all of the negative stigmas associated with the car business. We've put this out there. We're doing it in our social media feeds. We're telling them it's who we're going to be. We're committing to that. We're giving them our word, and then they get here and we give them a half-ass production. Or maybe we don't even greet them out on the lot. Or maybe we don't follow through on a due bill, or we tell them we're going to do something and we don't. No, sir. Not to me in my brain, it's now 2018. So not in 2018. Not anymore. Doing the same in this store doesn't work. Giving us, or me giving, or you giving 50% effort, or 70% effort, or even 95% effort is not allowed. It's not okay. That's not what you told me you would do. And that's not what I told you I would do. Our word matters. Hopefully this Wi-Fi can work, because I have another video that I want to show you about how important your word is. Come on, connect. You think it'll work on guests? Yep. If it's fully committed. Who's got Apple Play?
I do.
Can you take over my screen?
Yeah. Hold on. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, hold on.
I just took over.
I'm connected. Don't take over.
Not prone to give over his play calling duties to anyone. There was a young man who was not just anyone. Charlie Weis kept a promise last week against Washington in a heart-touching story that wasn't a win-win for the Gipper situation. Tom Rinaldi has the story.
You're looking at a kid that you know is not going to make it. I thought my job was to do all I could to get a smile on his face.
Almost from the day he was given his name, Montana, after Joe Montana, Montana Matsarkevich grew up watching Notre Dame football. From the day he was diagnosed with a brain tumor a year and a half ago, he kept watching. And last week, he asked if a player from the team could visit him at home, a few miles from campus. Wednesday, the head coach came instead.
I said, there's somebody here to see you. And the coach walked right past me and he said, hi, I'm Charlie Weis. And Montana's eyes just lit up.
Here's a 10-year-old kid who's dying, and he knew it because he said, he goes, I have a tumor that's inoperable. Here's a 10-year-old kid who's telling you that it's inoperable. And I thought just the fact that he could say that word, he knew that, he knew he was gone.
During the visit, Weis gave Montana a signed football. The boy, without any movement below the waist and weakened by the tumor, tried to throw a pass in the living room.
It was just very awesome. Here was this little tiny boy and this big hulking man in the chair next to my little boy helping him throw a pass. And Montana had nothing but a big smile on his face.
Before leaving the house, Weis asked Montana a question.
The coach just asked him, what would you like to do? Would you like to call a play? And Montana said, I'd like to call first offensive play. And the coach just kind of broke out in sweat.
I said, well, you want me to run or pass? And he goes, pass to the right. Not just pass to the right.
Just a day and a half after the visit, early Friday, Montana died in his mother's arms. He was 10 years old.
I felt so selfish because I didn't want him to go. But he had told me that he wanted to be with the angels. So I just held him and sang a stupid Notre Dame fight song. And then some other songs that my daughter had written. And I just told him he could rest. It was time to stop fighting. That he could rest now. And that he was my hero. He did. He just stopped.
Weiss learned Montana had died after the team arrived for its game in Washington. A day later, the family watched as Notre Dame played. For its first offensive play of the game, the ball rested inside the Notre Dame 1 yard line.
Brody Quinn sets up Notre Dame at about its own 2 foot.
No way, he's not going to pass it. He's not going to do it. He can't. He can't make that play.
Brady looked at me and said, well, what are we going to do? I said, well, we don't have a choice. I says, no, what we're going to do, we don't have a choice. We run the play.
Play action for Quinn. Throws wide open for Sano. The tight end with a hurdle. They might have a first down.
It was almost as if Montana was pulling him over that guy, saying, okay, let's get a few extra yards here and get us out of trouble.
The play went for 13 yards, but reached much farther, all the way to a family in Indiana, a family in grief.
It was the fact that Coach Weiss kept his word. That was the big thing, that he kept his word in an almost impossible situation to a 10-year-old kid that he didn't even know.
Charlie Weiss never wanted that story to be made public, but once it got out, he went to pay his respects privately to the family after Notre Dame returned from their victory over Washington. The team signed a football and presented it to the Mazurkiewicz family. Certainly our condolences continue to be with them.
If you don't know anything about football, when it's first down and you're on the 1 yard line, the last thing you want to do is throw a pass. Okay? If you take a step back, you're now in the end zone. There's an opportunity you can get sacked. There's an opportunity for a safety. That means I gotta give the team 2 points and I gotta give them the ball back. So the last thing you want to do is step back and take a pass. Very last thing. You want to run that ball and just try to get out of trouble. This guy kept his word to a kid. The kid wasn't even alive to watch it anymore. The kid had died before the game. That's the commitment level that we have to have. All we really have is our word. That's all we're gonna be able to leave behind. We can't take any of this other stuff with us. It's our word, it's our character, it's who we are as a human being. That's what lasts. That's what's gonna matter to people. So when you gave me your word, I have the right to expect that. And I give you guys my word that this year is going to be the best year this company has ever had. Everything is in place. Everything is perfect. And we have some people that own this dealership that are committed. Do you guys all agree? These guys are committed. Josh and Dusty don't have to be here. Ever. They don't have to. There's no one that requires them to show up. But yet they're here every single day because this is all that matters to them. I asked Josh, when he was going to retire or what his retirement plan was, and straight face, no hesitation. He said, I will never retire. He said, I will work till the day I die. Because he understands that what we're building here is much bigger than just a car dealership, okay? We're creating a legacy. He's carrying on a legacy from his dad and his grandfather, but he's got 3 kids that he's worried about. Dusty's got 4 kids that he's worried about. They have 270-something employees now that they're worried about, so they're full-on committed. They're going through Target with 5 kids hanging from their freaking hips every single day. Every single day. And I believe that we owe that back to them. I believe if you are going to be away from your girlfriends, your spouses, your kids, if you're going to be away from them for 50 hours, 60 hours, 70 hours a week, I believe that you owe them a full-on 100% commitment while you're here. I believe that. I believe that if Josh and Dusty are going to spend all this money to build this facility and to give you all these tools and to get these customers in here, you owe that customer a 100% commitment to getting them into a vehicle today. 100%. Every single time. Every single day. I will give it to you, and I need you guys to give it to me. Fair enough? Let's stand up. Let everybody know what we're committed to, okay? Because I am on a mission.
To eradicate the negative stigmas associated with the car business. I can do this by making people feel special, feel important, feel like they're the only one. I will offer an experience that will exceed my customers' expectations today, tomorrow, and in the future. I will not just sell cars, I will create fans.
So let's go. Let's have a big weekend. Thank you, guys. What you got for me? What you got for me this month, man? 30, my man. What you got for me? 30. Dan, what you got for me this month? Okay, good. What you got for me this month? Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. That's up to Sam. Hey guys, I hope you're having a big weekend. I hope you are dialing in and getting fully committed to achieving your dreams, your goals, keeping your word, just being, just doing all that you can do. It's so incredibly important. We never know what tomorrow holds, but I do know that it's what we leave behind that matters. So thank you guys for tuning in. Please share the feed. Let everybody know that we're here. Dan Cummins Chevrolet in Buick. On a side note, we do have employee pricing for everyone right now on all 2017 models. We also have employee pricing on 18 Silverado and 18 Equinox. And I've got 1,500 vehicles in inventory, and I got 43 guys that hopefully are fully committed to making sure your experience here at Dan Cummins is top-notch, bar none, can't compare. So have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.